Shall I go?
Yes, Dr. Dan, that is your cue.
Good.
Fully locked out there. Hey folks, Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Joining me today, I have Vincenzo Tortellini, the Cuban Italian stallion. You might know him as Vince over at Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo in Riverside, but that's his real name. If you go in there and say, I'm looking for Vincenzo Tortellini, the Cuban Italian stallion, it's like 10% off of everything automatic. Is that right, Vince?
Yes, sir.
There you go. See, from the horse's mouth right there. Anyway,
yes.
How you doing, buddy?
All right, ready yourself?
Very good, very good. Hey, can't wait
Nice
to
be
head
back.
on down. I'm glad to have you back. Can't wait to head on down on Saturday. I'll be picking up another firearm from you. So that's a wonderful thing. Just trying to do my gun a month thing. Remember, we're limited now to new gun sales to one a month. Is that correct?
Yes, one a gun.
Long guns, well, some long guns, pistols, it's one a month.
Right.
So
Yes.
folks, do not miss your opportunity to get one every month because you can't get that time back. You can't make up for 12 in December. So you're going to have to go one gun a month. At this point in time, just make it your creed. That's what you're going to live by. A gun a month, because that if they say that that's going to be our limit, I consider that a challenge. So we need to rise to the challenge. Everybody needs to buy one gun a month from now on and help Vince's retirement program.
Actually, help my daughter's wedding.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, hey, mine got married in October. I know what that goes, folks. You need to buy one new gun and one gun on consignment a month from Vince.
Yeah,
so you get
so I
to
can pay for the wedding coming up in May there.
Hey, well, joining me here, I have Bo Peterson. Bo Peterson, excuse me, is with stealthsafes.com. For some reason, I think I'm going to have a hard time with that one today. So let me just apologize in advance for my stumbles. But stealthsafes.com is a great little safe company here in Southern California. Bo, how's your morning going?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me, Phil.
Do you have any weddings we need to pay for so we can do some discounts for listeners right now?
Hopefully not. My son just graduated college. I told him to relax for a little bit. No reason to jump into anything, so I don't have to pay for anything like that.
Yeah, let us recover from college before we have to go to the next one.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Very good. Well, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
So Stealth Safes, stealthsafes.com is a company you've had for about 11 or 12 years now, but give us a little rundown on where it got started and what you're doing with the company now.
Yeah, definitely. So it originally was started as a small RV safe company. So you can imagine somebody with an RV wanted to lock up a small little lock box, and that did fine for multiple years. We've been in the business for over 40 years as our parent company, Dean Security Inc. And we recognized them on the radar and wanted to talk about a partnership with them. And it ended up being us kind of niche market safe company. And then around 2009, we started realizing that the name had a little bit of powerful draw. We liked the name and decided to get into the gun safe, home safe, handgun safe business with that brand, and transitioned in 2009 and have been building that brand since. And now find it a very successful brand that companies like Bullseye Sports are taking great advantage of.
So you sell to regional people and then they distribute your bolts at that point in time. What area will you deliver to?
So
how far an area?
Yeah, us as Stealth Safe will ship across the country, and our dealers generally will handle the local delivery. But somebody like Bullseye Sports that isn't in the safe business, if you will, really wants to sell a gun a month to every one of his customers, but happens to have some safes for sale. We have a nice regional program that we work with them and some of our other dealers where we can deliver within the Southern California area. So we always say anywhere from San Diego to Santa Barbara, out to that Palm Springs area and north up to the high desert. We can deliver locally on there.
Folks, that's excellent, because when you look at the price of a safe, you're like, wow, that's an investment, but it's there to protect what you already own. But then you look at the price of delivery from some of these other companies out there, and it's like 50% of the cost of the safe. So it's really important that you have a good delivery system. Plus, we were involved with another safe company locally, and man, the delivery nightmares, the logistical nightmares of that company are why we now have stealth safes on the air today. So glad to have you guys. It's important that you have a delivery service. Let's talk about, we haven't covered this before, but somebody wants a safe on the second story, or they have stairs, or there's a steep driveway. How do you handle that?
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
hardwood floors, hardwood
Yeah,
floors.
what's nice is if somebody walks into Bullseye Sports' retail store, says, I want, one of our products is a UL-28. They want a UL-28 gun safe. It's a great gun safe, 25 guns. Hey, but I want it on the second floor. Vince and his team take the order. They have a price sheet that they lay out that says delivery. That then contacts our company at Stealth Safe. We set up a delivery with them that is our guys in-house. So we come in unmarked vehicles. We have usually in this case, two of our delivery guys show up at the location and professionally install it in-home upstairs, and can bolt it down if you wanted. So there's a number of things that we do, but it's our guys doing the professional work, and you're not subbing it out to some third party that you don't know these guys. These guys are background checked. They do what they do. It's a trade for them, and the customer can feel confident when they go into Vince's store at Bullseye Sports saying, I bought this safe. It's a good safe. Plus I'm getting it delivered by quality people that have background checks, and there's nothing to worry about that way.
It's absolutely
Professionally
important.
installed.
The other thing is, now if you have a unmarked white panel van in front of your house, there's a reason for it. You're getting your safe delivered.
Exactly. One other thing, they come in unmarked boxes also. So generally, if a neighbor's looking, if nosy neighbor Nancy is looking, it usually maybe thinks it's a refrigerator or something. So Vince, you might get questions on buying a third refrigerator. Why do you need three refrigerators, right? So that's how we kind of lead into that.
That's awesome. So it's super important to have the delivery. It's always something to check out. And, if somebody is going to a big box store saying, hey, I want that safe, realize you got to get it home. You got to get it upstairs.
That's a great point on that. So sorry to cut you off there, Phil, but a lot of say just online retailers or big box stores, they're not going to handle it this delivery stuff. That's not their cup of tea. They're going to ship it to you, and it's going to go curbside and have fun. And it's going curbside. People think, well, I thought it was going in my garage. No, it's going curbside, and it's on a pallet. So have fun taking a 600-pound safe off of a pallet, getting it up to your garage, and then something like that. So that's where delivery comes in handy on something like that. And another thing with dealing with big box stores or just online people, when you can deal with a company like Bullseye Sports and Vince and their team, is you have somebody to talk to. Say, heaven forbid, something goes wrong, or you just have questions. You have somebody to talk to. Who do you talk to at Costco? Try to get, or I shouldn't say, a box store. Who do you talk to at a box store? How many times do you have to sit on hold? Where when you have a local guy that's been in the neighborhood, been in the county for multiple years, that's where you get your peace of mind. I try to get that across to customers, especially when you're buying something personal like a safe. There's a reason why you're buying a safe. You want to have the confidence that it works, and if it's something, and somebody to talk to on that. So that's what's so important about going to Bullseye Sports and getting that personal feel to where you're not dealing with some big box store.
No, you're absolutely right. And we always say, local service is always better, even if it's Vince, right?
Yeah, sure.
We love it. So there's a reason, I imagine, your business is booming, especially in California. And that is because our lack of governance by our he gives idiotic a bad name. He even, anyway, we'll just call him evil. The evil, sinister Gavin Newsom has done his best over the last 5 or 6 years now to release as many felons back into your neighborhoods to continue to make property crimes and then not even hold them accountable for that. So let's just ask him. I mean, obviously we know our crime stats are through the roof in California, but how is that affecting home stuff? Well, you know what, we're gonna take a break here real quick. But when I come back, I want to ask you that question about the current crime wave and how are you able to help people defeat that and maintain their firearms and precious cargo, so to speak. Folks, Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Check out Stealth Safes at stealthsafes.com, bullseyesport.com. We'll be right back here with Bo and Vince, firinglineradio.com.
Alrighty then.
You gonna give him some good service there, Vince?
Yes.
Thumbs up. That was just one thumb up. There you go. Waiting for Dan to put it in the can.
Roll.
We're ready.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick.
Hey, folks, welcome back to Boomstick Radio. Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. And you know that every week, and especially this week, because we actually have him on the show, we're sponsored by Bullseye Sports Guns and Ammo in Riverside, California, on the corner of, well, he's between Arlington and Central. I always screw it up, off of Brockton at the Brockton Arcade. Look, just call 951-823-0211. They'll guide you in. I just know how to drive there. But the reason I would go over there is I want to go out there and make sure that the firearms you buy, the one a month, or two if you find one on consignment, the one a month that you buy is safe and protected, and check out Stealth Safes while you're there. StealthSafes.com. He has a couple of them on the floor. We're sitting here talking with Bo Peterson. He's the owner of StealthSafes.com. They've got great selections, great ways for you to save and protect your very precious investments. Now, I know we always talk about the price on things. Here's about roughly $100. Your mileage may vary because, finally, a guy's driving with his wife in the car and she lets him listen to the show and we're not going to blow it for him. So everything costs around $100, give or take. Your mileage may vary. So to protect those $100 things that you have, you need around $100 safe, and go to stealthsafes.com for that. Folks, welcome back here. I have Bo Peterson. Bo, I just was asking you a question as we went off the air in the last segment about Gavin Newsom's felonious, purposeful crime wave of putting criminals back on the street to make victims out of his citizens. How is that affecting home invasions and home robberies?
Yeah, that's a great point there. And as a safe company, we generally stay out of the political realm, but it's hard to stay out of the political realm.
That's my
correct?
job. I will kick the pile of excremento back to Sacramento.
Definitely, but
you can stay clean on that.
And we try to stay out of it, but it's inevitable in this situation, right? And why we know that is 65% of our business that we have that come in and buy safes are after the fact customers. So after a burglary, after a neighbor's burglary, after they hear something like that, maybe a fire too would fit into that category. So when you hear those statistics, and then you unfortunately watch the news, especially local news, and you see what's going on, not just in California in general, but in our counties, our three counties that are right in this area. Definitely business has been up and been up at least for the last 2 years. We're going on almost 2 years exactly on all this stuff going on. And, anytime there's unrest, peace of mind and all that is at an all-time low when it comes to crime, precious metals on the rise, the economy, inflation, all that's going to drive the business towards a safe buying business for the right reasons, to have that peace of mind for the customer going forward.
you know, you mentioned something that's important. My real business, right, during the week, I do this radio show 1 hour a day just to keep myself sane, to blow off steam, right? Vince gets to do that in his office all the time. This is my cathartic, this is my therapy doing this show. But at Cornerstone Christian Wealth Management, we're always talking with people on retirement planning and so forth. And somebody always asks about gold. And well, that's one of the things is if you bought gold or if you bought silver or any other precious metal or something of value, where are you going to store it? It's extremely important that it's not in a drawer in the closet. That locking file cabinet in the garage, how safe is that?
Not very safe.
It's not very safe. Even with a padlock on it, it's not going to work. So it's important that you protect it. So let's give a couple of ideas to people. This section, I want to talk about homes, how to protect things in your home, safe placements, sizes. What would you recommend? We're going to go to the expert here, Bo Peterson.
Yeah.
Give us your shot.
What we recommend is like stuff that Vince carries at Bullseye Sports there. So let's talk to the gun owner, but also generally gun owners. What we find are also married too, could be married, but don't just have guns. They obviously have other things that they want to protect, whether it be, passports, grandma's wedding ring, precious metals, extra cash on hand, everything you talk about to be prepared if something does happen, right? Paperwork. So when you're looking to buy, let's just start with gun safes. You're looking to buy a gun safe and you're buying your one a month from Vince. My number one rule is buy bigger than what you think you need. The number one complaint we get, and the number one complaint that Vince gets is, I should have bought bigger the first time. So if you have 10 guns, don't buy a 10 gun safe, please. Buy a 25 gun safe. Buy something at least the next size up from what you're thinking. That's going to help you save money over the long run and give you the opportunity to have the peace of mind to protect other things, whether it be like we just talked about, extra.
I need to touch on that about the 10 gun to 25 gun. See, for the married couples who are listening to this for their therapy session, guns are like rabbits. If you just have two and you put them in a dark space for a while by themselves, the next time you open it up, there's three. We don't know how it happened. They replicate themselves. It's not that the guy went out and bought anything and didn't tell you. These things happen. It's biological. Guns replicate when they're alone in the safe. It just happens. So just want to make sure we have a full understanding that you have to buy the 25 because if you have 10, well, it's going to become 25 and there's really nothing you can do about it, right? Is that correct?
It's kind of like shoes, right? Shoes does the same thing, right? You go in the closet, there was 3 pairs. You go next, there's 6 more pairs.
Shoes do it faster. Shoes and purses like bang, 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 bang.
Hey, going back to the, I've been selling his safe now for a while, and I've been selling safes for a while, but his especially recently, I get people all the time. They'll go, okay, I've got like 4 guns, and I think I got 2 rifles, so I'll buy this one here, the smaller one. 2 months later, they come back and go, man, I screwed up. I should have bought the bigger one. Now I got to buy another safe. And okay, fine. So go ahead and buy another safe, but don't buy the same size you just bought.
No.
Because you're going to go back again to it. So this time, if you get the approval from your boss, buy, whatever your pocket can, of course, afford, buy the bigger one. And, the other one you can throw in there, whatever ammo or whatever small stuff. And then you can keep your other guns and keep adding to your inventory. I have a friend of mine. What's that?
You should get the biggest one and then put the smaller one inside of it.
I have a friend of mine, the husband and wife, and they're both very active in going out and shooting, having a good time every weekend. And I'm part of that group with them. He has his safe with his gun. She has her safe with her guns. So they both have their own separate safe. And it's kind of funny because your guns are not going to go in my safe because I don't like whatever Glock. I only like Colt. So your Glock's not going to touch my safe. And it's kind of funny to hear husband and wife talking about their safes and what they keep in each safe. And
folks, that's a first world problem.
for sure.
Um, Jumping in here again, talking about the safe, we have here in the store 6 different models. There's 2 of each that are the same size. Just one has a longer rating. Was it about from 30 minutes to
60 minutes, yeah.
to
Fire
60
rate.
minutes? Yeah. So there's two saves of each. One is a 31, and then of course different prices. And then of course, which we sell quite a bit, are the smaller ones that are biometric, and the smallest one holds 2 guns. Then you have another one that has, it's pretty nice because it has like built-in hooks, so you can put 4 guns
Yep.
straight in, and then you can also lay 2 more in the bottom, of course, depending on the size of the gun. So, and it's really nice, and it has a wire and it has holes so you can bolt it down. So that's also another option. You don't need to have a big safe. It's all you want is just 1 gun, and that's it. I will tell you this, that our people here that come and buy guns from me, even though our politicians think that we're some whack job crazy lunatics that go out and shoot the street up, people come here and they buy a firearm and they want to go further. They want to go, so how do I keep this gun locked? Do I have to have a lock? Do I have to have a safe?
The Second Amendment community is absolutely law abiding. They're the best people.
Yeah, they are following, especially the new ones. The new ones are kind of afraid that they're already buying a gun because they never owned a gun in their life, but they understand what's going on. So they need to protect their family or themselves. And they go extra, and they not only do they get a safe, whether it's small or larger safe, they also take classes. So I just, I get mad when I hear all these politicians, and I'm always reading articles, this crazy whack job. And no, they're the crazy whack job, are purchased politicians, because that's what we have in California. We have purchased politicians.
Unfortunately, that is correct. Folks, Philip
Yeah.
Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. Get our podcasts at firinglineradio.com. We got our new website up. So you go to firinglineradio.com. We're tweaking it still, but there's some great stuff on there, including hats and t-shirts. So check that out, firinglineradio.com. We'll be right back after this. Hats, t-shirts, discounts. It's a wonderful thing.
Is it? It came in? I got the invoices.
There is an invoice on there too.
Well, the invoice that I have has prices. The one you got in was.
The one I have is just a basic one.
Check's in the mail, Vince.
Hey, that's the wedding. That's the expense right there.
Yeah, right here. That's the
66 days.
Add a girl.
66
How many
days.
hours?
How many hours and minutes?
At 4 o'clock. You do the math.
Vince, when is the knee surgery?
My knee surgery is the 22nd of this month. So on a Tuesday. And hopefully I'll be running after that marathons. Like if I ever ran a marathon in my life, but
Doing 1 or 2?
Yeah, that'll work.
1 knee or 2 knees?
one knee right now, the right knee, and they don't think the other one needs it for now, but I've been putting a lot of strain in my other leg. You know how that works. So it's been hurting me that too. I'm hoping that once I get this knee replaced, that the other one kind of go, phew, I get a break now, and I can go back to, we'll see.
Or in my case, the other one went, oh, finally, okay, fix me now.
You have both replaced, right?
I've had a replacement on the right knee twice. My left knee's just had a clean up, torn up meniscus and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's still a mess.
All right.
Ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
Mom's seeing Ryan on Saturday.
Spartans, lay down your weapons.
Saturday, so if you need
Come and get them.
Hey folks, Philip Naiman, welcome back to Firing Line Radio Show. We're here with Bo Peterson of stealthsafes.com and Vincenzo Tortellini. you know, we're going to talk now about carrying your firearms while you're mobile. Why would you do that? Well, a lot of us have CCWs. And speaking about CCWs, you all know that we are supported by CCW Safe. CCW Safe is the greatest legal protection you can get if you ever have to defend your life after you've defended your life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just think about Kyle Rittenhouse. Poor guy had to go through that event in Kenosha, and then he had a DA try and annihilate his future forever. And I guess apparently some celebrities are going to be held accountable for that too, from what I hear in the news, which couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of folks. But anyway,
I know.
CCW Safe gives you the protection on that. And if you go to their website, ccwsafe.com, and click the discount code FL Radio, happens to stand for firing line, FL Radio 15, you get a discount forever. So you have a great policy. You're going to need that if you carry a firearm. If you own a firearm, you need it because it covers people in your home that live with you under certain ages, and it covers your wife. If you ever have to defend your life in a home invasion, anything terrible like that, the last thing you need is a DA like Gascon trying to make you the bad guy. Well, all you've done is protect your life because they've put the criminals back out on the street. It's a very maddening ordeal to even think about this, but that's where we're at. We have hack job politicians, my word, not Bo's, hack job politicians out there letting people go, creating laws to unincarcerate the felonious few. You know, our whole entire crime spree, folks, is a small group of super predators committing an unbelievable amount of crime. And we'd be better off with them gone. However you want to work that out is fine with me, but I'm really tired of having to deal with these people. Anyway, let me get off of that, but go to CCW Safe, use the code FL Radio 15, get yourself a discount forever on that. And why do you need that? Well, because this is the world we live in. So, Bo, let me get back to you here, stealthsafes.com. A lot of people have CCWs now. Riverside County's been great about giving them out. Chad Bianco way surpassed my expectations. I thought Stan Sniff was doing a great job. Chad Bianco has blown the doors off. He's done a great job with that. The San Bernardino County Sheriff, they're keeping it up. LA County is now starting to issue. So more and more people are going to be traveling with their firearms. And they may or may not want to carry it into every place they go. So now you've driven to some place, you have your firearm with you, and you need to lock it up. What are my options and what are my rules for that?
Yeah, that's great. Great question. And Vince kind of touched on this in the last segment. Is we're not just a tall rifle safe gun company or home safe. We provide handgun safes too, and we have 3 models in particular that meet all those requirements to lock up your safe. They're all DOJ approved, and they're fairly reasonably priced too for what they are, from $139 to $179-ish type price points. But you can lock them up in your car. They come with a cable. So one in particular would be a biometric. We call it the Swift Vault. It can hold 2 handguns in there, easily fit underneath a seat if it needed to be tied in there. And you're abiding by the laws when you need to lock something up as far as DOJ approved. There are some other laws as far as carrying in a car, but with a CCW, I think there's some other things. You guys can go into that. But as far as locking up the guns in a DOJ approved locking device, our handgun safes do it. So the Swift Vault, the handgun hanger safe that Vince talked about, where you can hang 3 handguns across the top and fit 2 more. So in a small pistol box, you can legitimately fit 5 handgun safes in, and they're not getting banged around or anything like that. And then we have the handgun hanger bio, so same box, just with a biometric apparatus. So very good products that all meet, like I said, that DOJ requirement, and are fairly well priced for what they are, and protect the owner of the guns in that, and gives you peace of mind when you do go into your school, your son's or your kid's school play or something like that you've done your part of locking up your gun.
Ben, do you want to talk about the legalities of traveling with a firearm?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to talk about the legalities traveling with a firearm?
Yeah, so if you are a CCW holder, carry concealed weapon holder, of course, you can have that firearm on you loaded at all time, but you also have to be aware of certain locations that you go to. You just cannot walk in there with your gun. Uh, some of those are already with a sign outside saying that you can, but you can go like in a post office. There's a certain area, federal building and stuff like that. So you do have to have some kind of locking mechanism that is attached to your car. Okay, you just cannot throw a box in your car. You have to be attached somehow to your car, whether it's underneath the seat with a cable, so you can put your firearm there, lock it in place, go inside, do your business, whatever the case might be. Then you can go back out, unlock your safe, put the gun away, and travel. As far as traveling with a firearm, if you don't have a concealed carry permit, that firearm has to be, number one, unloaded. No ammo near that gun at all. And it has to be in some kind of a locking manner, whether it's a cable lock. 99.9% of all the guns sold in California come with a cable lock, especially from the manufacturer. If you have a used gun and you're selling a used gun, we have to provide a lock. Sometimes the customers bring their own lock, that's fine, but they have to have some kind of lock in that firearm. So when you go and travel from your house to the range, which probably that's what you're doing, you have to lock that gun in some kind of it could be in your bag with a lock. You have to be a lock in your gun, or the bag has to have a lock. Something with a lock on it. The ammo can be in the bag.
So let me ask this quick question. So if I have, my range bag, I put my firearm in it, unloaded, I put it in my trunk locks, does that count?
Does that count? Technically it does, but my suggestion is always have the firearm locked properly in the bag or with a lock. I mean, if you get stopped by law enforcement, there is no reason why they're going to open up your trunk unless you give them that option because you're acting like an idiot, and then that's what it is.
Well, here's what I always say, is your future happiness depends upon how many sugar donuts a CHP guy had, right? So if you get pulled over for speeding because you're late to go to the range, I understand that. If you get pulled over for speeding and he asks you flat out, do you have any firearms in the car? And you have to answer yes, because you're not going to lie to the officer because you're a gun owner, you don't lie. And he says, where is it? It's in the trunk, and he opens it up. Now, if in his mind, he says, I feel you need to have a lock on that gun, the trunk doesn't count, boom, you can get hooked up or written up, and now you're fighting troubles. Now, you could be legally correct. He could be wrong, but you have an issue. And the last thing we ever want to do is try and fight for our freedoms, whether it's, we don't want to, I said that wrong. It's not that we don't want to fight for our freedoms. We don't want to have to fight unnecessarily when something could be solved very easily. If your gun's in your trunk, have a lock on it. That's simple. Racks of these stupid little cable locks. It's like going to the range. I hate it. Going to the range is like locks. Half the time I'm loading and unloading the car, dealing with that stuff. But I don't want to be on a newspaper that I was caught, with blah, 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 because I really don't need that in my life. So it's important that you go over and beyond, because, you don't want to sit in front of a judge and say, well, I thought the trunk was good enough, and here we are, thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, fighting for something that was really simple. Trunk, it's in your trunk anyway. Another thing, what about the bed of a pickup truck? How is that? Can you have a rifle in a soft case in the bed of a pickup truck?
Actually, in this case, a rifle, believe it or not, is not required to have a lock. A handgun does, not a rifle.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them
but-
to change that.
But I know, but it's not a problem about the cop stopping you. Okay, hopefully he's going to stop you, give you a ticket, and let you go on your merry way.
No, he's supposed to stop us, give us a warning. and then let us go.
It's you stepping out of the car and leaving that firearm sitting there, whether it's inside your car or in your truck. They're gonna, if you have a nice car, even if you don't have a nice car, but they're gonna break in if they see anything. Now you gotta prove that there was a lock in the gun and all that kind of stuff. So you want to avoid going to court as much as possible.
We do,
wanna-
and we want to make sure that there's enough time. The courts are not full of us. We want all those criminals to get put back in the system, get felonies and put away. That's what the courts are for. Folks, Philip Naiman, Firing Line Radio Show. I'm here with Bo Peterson, StealthSafes.com. We'll be back after this with Vincenzo Torellini, BullseyeSafe.com. Bullseye Sport, Bullseye Safe, Bullseye Sport. Only been 9.5 years, Vince.
Well, we are
We'll be right back.
safe.
We'll be right.
Problem, 9.5 years, it means you're getting older.
I had dark hair when we started this. I've gone titanium.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Gonna be 10 years this July.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Gee, 10 years, man. That's a long ass time.
Hey, in April, we're starting in Prescott.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, be radio station in Prescott.
Oh, cool. Affiliated with the station
No.
here?
No,
No.
it's
Is it an
private
AM radio?
AM, KQ&A, yeah, it's a big, their big conservative talk show. So be on Saturdays out there too.
Okay, at the same time?
Nope, no, it'll be 10 o'clock their time, which is 11 o'clock our time. And then 1 o'clock our time is we're
thought we
airing, which is
were-
2 o'clock their time.
I think, isn't it the same after daylight savings time?
Yes.
So we've got a few months. It'll be the same.
No.
I mean, the time, not the show time.
Correct.
I'm getting a brain fart.
No, next week. No, is it next Saturday, I think?
It's this
Saturday.
weekend. Yeah, we lose
Yeah.
an hour of sleep. I've been bitching about it all week. Doesn't do any good, but
Oh,
makes
that's
me feel
right.
better.
This Sunday. Or this Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah. 2 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock in the morning. It's
It
magic.
don't matter.
Don't
The
know how
sleep-
that happens.
I still don't get when people say, I lost an hour. No, you lost an hour because you wanted to. You can still sleep 1 more hour if you want. You can sleep 2 more hours and have a deposit for the following year.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Right?
Actually, I sleep the entire leap year. I sleep that entire day. So I have that all caught up. It's a great strategy. You should try it. The day doesn't exist anyways. You sleep through it. Then, like you said, you have that in the bank.
Yes.
Yeah, works every time. Work every time.
Last segment. You ready? Away we go.
Yes. Great hunter. Yes. Fine figure of a man. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That is all you need to know for now.
Hey, folks, welcome back to Firing Line Radio Show. Philip Naiman here. You know, as I just went off that last segment, we're talking about CCW Safe. Now, we do have a code for them. So you're going to need the service. You just need to have this protection. So go to ccwsafe.com, FL Radio 15. I believe it's 15, might be 10. Anyway, check out, it's either FL Radio 15 or 10, get your discount. That discount is good for life, including all renewals. So check them out. You're going to need that at ccwsafe.com, FL Radio. And we'll go on from there. We were talking in our last segment with Bo Peterson of StealthSafes.com about traveling with a firearm, because we get that question a lot, and there's a lot of different nuances. One of the things that Ben said is make sure it's unloaded. There are certain classifications for loaded and unloaded. We think in the, we always say in the safety world that every gun treated as if it's loaded, but there's a technical definition. If a firearm has one in the chamber or in the cylinder, it's a loaded firearm. If there is a magazine with bullets in it that is inside that magazine well, it is a loaded firearm for California purposes, not for hunting, but for California purposes. So I believe that if you have a gun case where your ammunition and the firearm are locked together, in some jurisdictions, they would consider that a loaded firearm. Is that correct, Vince? Have they
Yes.
fixed that yet?
Yeah.
So think about
No.
that. So if
Yeah,
I have a locking case, a locking travel case, and I have 2 loaded magazines in my 45, and I put it in there because I'm going to the range, that's an issue, right?
Right. So your best bet is just, if you're gonna go to the range, okay, you don't have a concealed carry permit. So why do you have to have those loaded magazine? Other than, I get it, you don't want to go to the range and sit there and load them. You load them from home. I've done that too. I sit home and I'll load up 10, 15 magazines. And when I get to the range, they're already loaded. Guess what? When I do that, those magazines, I have them in another box that I keep all my loaded magazines. And the gun that I have, it's in the bag separately. One thing that people don't understand is, if you ask a cop a question about that, they're gonna go, I don't know. That's not their job. Their job is to police the city, and they know their job. They don't know about, is that gun legal? Is that gun not legal? They don't know. Some of them do because they're gun people, but for the most part, they don't. So
Yeah, they'll hook you up and figure it out.
exactly. So they want to protect themselves, because if they say, that's fine, go ahead and leave with that gun, and you do something down the line, it's on him now because he let that gun go. So for him to protect himself, he's gonna go, you know what, dude, I really don't know anything about this. I'm taking this gun. Here's your receipt. Now you got to go to court, get a lawyer, and that $600 gun just became a $6,000 gun. Might as well have him keep it. So avoid at all costs that confrontation with law enforcement. Don't be such a macho man, because it's not going to do anything to them. So just do it. Protect yourself and do everything the way it's supposed to be. If you want to carry a loaded gun, then go ahead and proceed and go apply for a concealed carry permit in the counties that allowed it. And now you can carry your loaded gun on you all the time that you want, and that'll be fine. So just be smart about it.
Let's talk about another requirement that we have in California about protecting our firearms. It should be that I should have zero fear of criminals coming in and stealing my firearms.
Right.
But that's not the case. It should be that I am a responsible person and I make sure that my firearms are put away whenever someone who is younger comes over the house. There's actually some legal requirements here. Do either of you two want to talk about that? If you get my gist about somebody under 18,
Yeah.
Bo?
Yeah, I can speak on the home side of things, that if you own a gun, it has to be locked in a DOJ approved residential container, which all the safes that Bullseye Sports sells and all the safes that we carry at stealthsafe.com meet those requirements. A lot of them supersede that requirement, maybe being what we call a UL rated gun safe, which would be a stronger unit than just a DOJ approved cabinet or container. But in the home setting, and that's where we talk about it in the safe industry, is not about gun control and stuff. That's an important question that you guys talk about and everything, but we talk about the gun safety aspect of it. And like you guys mentioned, the people that are going into Bullseye Sports and buying a gun are legitimate law-abiding people, and they want to do the correct thing. And the correct thing that they do at home should be to lock it up in a DOJ-approved cabinet or container to meet those requirements, and talk about the gun safety aspect of it. It's to, one, most importantly, keep out of the hands of kids or somebody that doesn't know how to operate a gun at home, correct? And then two, protecting against, unfortunately, we do have to worry about the what I call the tweakers and the guys that are getting let out of jail coming into your home and looking
We call
for.
we call that the progressive voting base.
That would be very correct. But
Yeah,
I'll let you say that.
you're liable for your firearm at home.
Correct.
Even though that's your home, and I get it. In a perfect world, you should be able to leave all your guns laying around your couch and your table, but we're not there. We live in California. Yeah, like that one right there. See, I mean, how I feel. You have to, if I get it, you want to have the gun ready for protection. And you're right. So you're at home, that's fine. But the moment you leave that house, unless you take that gun with you, that gun has to be somehow inoperable, or if somebody walks in, now if somebody goes into your house and takes that locked box and beats it to hell with a hammer, you did your due diligence. You did what you had to do. You can't stop them from taking it. I've heard stories about actual safe being dragged out of the house with chains. So if they really want to take your safe and your gun, they're going to try. But now you have something to explain. Hey, the guns was in the safe. They dragged us out of a biscuit out, and it is what it is. And, there you go. But you have to.
Just to let the people know, the one on the wall, this is an airsoft. So don't
that's
come
a
breaking it. Yeah.
I'm sure it looks like a real gun. Yeah,
It's
so
okay.
that's, you have to have your gun. Plus, you never know who's gonna walk in. You leave the gun in, and all of a sudden, your neighbor or your cousin shows up with their 5-year-old, and you totally forgot because you never have any kids in your house. Now that gun is laying there. They grab that gun and accidentally discharge the gun, and it hits somebody. The gun owner it's responsible for whatever happens. So
So let me
just
ask
think-
this question. You mentioned sometimes if somebody doesn't have it properly installed, the whole thing, they steal it, you find it out in the desert. So they kind of have to open it with a cutting torch, don't they? Something
Yeah,
like that?
so we talk about, in order to, what you're buying when you're buying a safe is you're buying peace of mind and
And
time.
deterrence, yeah.
Yeah, so time, if anybody has enough time, they can get into a safe, whatever it be. Yes, a torch would be one way, having time to be able to pry it somehow. But we talk about all security as being a security pie, if you will. If you look at it as a security pie, a safe being one piece of that pie, proper locks on your door, bolting down the safe if you can, having security cameras, alarm systems, getting to know your neighbors. I think that's really lost in today's communities, is actually talking to your neighbors and having a community where you can look out for each other.
So two questions. I noticed on your safes, you have an electrical outlet on the inside. That's for dehumidifier and lights. Is there a way to put a tracker inside that also?
Yeah, so not necessarily a track. Well, in the long and short, yes, we sell devices that can monitor door open, door closed, humidity, temperature, like that. But you know what? A lot of our customers, as a simple fix, have been doing is the new Apple. I think it's called the iTrack. It's like $29 or something. You could put that in there if your safe did get taken and be able to track that. That's basically where a lot of people have gone for a real inexpensive way of doing it.
Yeah, now that's one idea. The other idea I had, I'm not sure, this is just throwing it out there, but I thought if I put 3 pounds of triple F black powder inside the safe, and then they went to cut it out in the middle of the desert, we could find the black spot on Google Earth where they tried to open the safe. So that's another way to
That would
locate
definitely be a fun.
the little mushroom cloud, and then like the boots that are just boots in the desert. You got to lose your guns anyway. I think it's it's a fitting send off. It's a 21-pound salute.
Yes.
I have 80,000 volts in mine. Is that legal or not? No. When I get home, the guy's like this, right on the.
Folks, I think we should be in charge of the prison system here. Folks, Philip Damon, Firearm Radio Show with Vince. Thank you very much, Vince, for being on. Bo Peterson, stealthsafes.com. Check them out. Walk into Vince's store, see what they've got, get it ordered, get it installed professionally, because that's the best way to go. Folks, I want to thank the special guests here, and check out our new website, firinglineradio.com. Let us know. We're fixing a few glitches on it, but hey, hats, t-shirts, some great stuff on there, and we'll be passing out discounts from our vendor sponsors also. So firinglineradio.com. Thank you guys very much. God bless.
Thank you, Phil. Alrighty then.
But you can't pick your nose yet. He's still recording.
I know. Gonna pick my butt?
Could I stop you?
Oh man. Yeah, I got some invoices you want to pay from the franchise tax board. It's not much. Dan, that's for you, right? You're in charge of that, Dan?
Oh, no,